Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I am super stoked to bring you my interview with Lieutenant Colonel Jason Pike. Jason is a guy that actually rolled through life kind of being told that he was never good enough, and now he's a best-selling author. He is somebody that I immensely respect and other people immensely respect. He's a great speaker, orator, and again, a best-selling author. He has a book that I have a book giveaway at the end, so make sure you stick around for that. The knowledge nuggets he drops are absolutely fantastic, along with a certain story about feces. So you have to dig in for that. And again, at the end, I do have a book giveaway. So without further ado, here's my really good friend, author, just a kick-ass human being, Lieutenant Jason G. Pike. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson. I have a soft spot because of serving in the military. I get to bring on an actual legit war hero who is in the past few months has become a pretty good friend of mine, man. He reached out to me when I wasn't feeling that great. He's just a legit guy. The only day this year that we probably won't be friends is December 9th, and that's the Army-Navy game. But I brought on my really good friend here, decorated combat veteran, Lieutenant Colonel retired Jason Pike, who served 31 years in the U.S. Army, including 9 years overseas in 5 countries. Total badass here. Jason earned over 30 service awards and badges, and his diversity of Army jobs, assignments, and schools from age 17 to 48 sets his military memoir up differently than most. With a straightforward account of one man's journey, he inspires audiences nationwide and shows how to be resilient and to persevere no matter what disadvantages and life struggles may happen. I love his kind of quote on his homepage. His mission in life is to help others persevere and find strength to face adversity, fear, and hope. And it goes on a little bit longer than that. But in the show notes, you'll see a fantastic website all about Jason. Also, I will be doing a book giveaway because he's the author of A Soldier Against All Odds, a memoir by Lieutenant Colonel Jason G. Pike. But wait till the end because I do have that book giveaway. And Jason, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Oh, my favorite color is orange because it stands for Clemson University, and I love it.
We were talking off mic a little bit about Dabo and how I've been blessed to be able to learn from Dabo and actually speak with him. That's absolutely awesome, and I love Clemson. Every time they beat Bama, it just makes my heart sing so loud. I'm from Michigan, so I'm like a Sparty fan, which they don't really make it to the dance too much. But like Clemson, man, they had a heartbreak, I believe, the first game of the season this year.
Yeah,
but they'll turn it around, man.
Yeah,
they'll turn it around. Their leadership's in place. So hey man, let's go back a little bit, man. You were very transparent to me off the mic about maybe education. Took you a minute to get through there. Let's get from the roots, man, and kind of start there if you don't mind, and just work our way up.
Yeah, I'm honored to be on your show, Scott. But yeah, I failed the first grade. I was identified with learning problems. I mean, this ain't just rumor. This was actual certified, bona fide people telling me this guy ain't got much to he ain't got much to offer there. Reading and writing are my worst subjects. I failed first grade English, and I struggled in life with English. Oh, by the way, I'm a national best-selling author, but that's a different point here. We can go into a little bit different. But no, in the very beginning, there was not a lot of expectations from my parents, and they had legitimate reasons because the school counselors, the educators were saying, Jason, he doesn't have his stuff together, pretty much. Yeah.
So with the naysayers back then, man, like what seeds did they plant? Because a lot of parents tell their kids no, like 135,000 times by the time they're 13. So they have it planted, the negative, negative, negative. So how did you use that naysaying, that negative, eventually to your advantage?
Yeah, for the most part, I believed it. In other words, when you fail the first grade and they identify that you have problems, and it's verified, you don't have a whole lot of I just thought that I might be a manual laborer for the rest of my life, or someone who would be doing minimum wage jobs. That's kind of how my expectations were all the way up to age 17 before I joined the military. So that was just what I thought was going to happen. Once I joined the military in 1982, 83, I went to boot camp, and I went through all kind of hell, at least it was for me. Mm-hmm. I felt that I could do a little bit better. My plan wasn't organized, but I knew I could do better in life just because I hit some rock bottom areas in the in Army basic training,
Yeah.
and I did some things that I thought I could never do in life. Yeah.
Wow. So let's back it up. So did you go to like ROTC basic training, or was it the actual Army boot and then Mustang over? Or how did you do this?
Yeah, I Mustanged over. Everything was from the bottom. I started as a private.
Wow.
It was also not in the regular Army. I was in the nasty girls. Well, we call that the National Guard, the Army National Guard. So so the South Carolina Army National Guard, we're not rocket scientists, but I joined and I went with them for about 4 years before I transferred into Clemson University as ROTC. But being identified as a problem learner, and I almost got kicked out of Army basic training. I nearly did. They sent me to a criminal correctional facility. This does not happen. This does not happen, but it happened to me and another soldier. But they sent us to this criminal correctional facility to get ourselves straightened up, to get our ass. It's kind of like that old Scared Straight program where you enter teenager. Yeah. So we went in there, and it was a different level of hell. First of all, basic training was basically, that was like Full Metal Jacket on steroids. It was like that situation.
Yeah.
And he had a drug deal with criminal correctional facility to motivate us and get us squared away, where we went in there, made big rocks into small rocks, got our asses kicked basically. Sure. And I come out all beaten up and broken up. But the bottom line is, once I went through basic training and some very hard times, I could not drink the water coming out of the damn fire hose. I'm considered a slow learner. Some people call it autism. Some people call it dyslexia, but it takes me a little time. And in the military, they want you to learn things very quickly. And I came out a little bit wired tight, maybe a little bit too tight. And I thought in my 17-year-old mind, I could do a lot more than what I was doing.
I love it. And Squad, just to give you kind of some insight, like we're talking about working from the bottom up, is when you're a private, that means you're enlisted, and Mustang over means that you're enlisted and you move over into the commission, where in actuality, if I was to meet Jason in uniform, I'd have to salute him, which I'd proudly do. I hate doing it to my Army packers, but no, I'm just kidding. No, it's like I would. And for him to do what he did, Squad, is nothing less than a minor miracle. Maybe to him it was a big miracle, because he was doing I'm hearing a lot of failing, but I'm also hearing that you failed forward. Like you were wired tight. What was that like, man? You come out, man, I'm wired tight, Ferg, but like, what was that was like, dude, I can do this? Like, was it intuition? Was someone say something to you? What was it, Jay?
Well, yeah, it was that I went through basic training, and I got knocked down multiple times, saying that you're going to get kicked out. I got into a fist fight with another private, kicked his ass. One of the first times I ever kicked anybody's ass physically. And then there was a whole lot of series of things where I just thought, damn, and I was supposed to be kicked out. I thought when I went into the criminal correctional facility, they were going to process me out, but I made it. And I just graduated basic training, which a lot of people do. But for me personally, coming from the situation I thought, wow, I think I can do more. And then I did, and I decided to stay on in the National Guard and go to college, and then go into the ROTC Ranger program, which is another level of just building small little baby steps. And is what I did, is just or putting little notches on your belt. Okay, this is just training. Now maybe I'm E2 private or secondary, and I just walk up the ladder, and I look back to where I was, and I'm thinking, I'm slow going it, I'm baby stepping it, but I ain't moving up. And so that's kind of how I looked at the process of going forward, failing forward.
That's beautiful, Jason. Squad, do you hear that? I mean, we talk about a lot of times trying to inch by inch, it's a cinch, right? By the yard, it's hard. Or short steps, long vision. That's what Jason had. Did you see yourself being a career man in the Army?
Well, I saw myself being successful, and I thought I could get a degree, I could invest and get into something. I saw myself as an officer. I didn't see myself as a career officer. I thought those second lieutenants, butter bars, the executive management, I thought I could be one of those guys. Shit falls downhill, and I didn't want to be down at the bottom. I wanted to be up a little bit more higher. Yeah. I could look at that pay scale too. Here I am as a private, or maybe even possibly a sergeant. Now look at these management people. They're making a whole lot more money, and they're a lot less work. And there is a little bit, if you can't make, I wanted to be an officer, I wanted to be a leader, and I thought I could go that route because me dealing with the minor detail stuff. I mean, any of you viewers out there can probably change a light bulb better than me. I might get myself electrocuted. That's just the way I am. But I could manage the people doing the electricity and doing the changing the light bulbs. I could take care of people.
Yeah.
I felt that was my strength. I had a good father as a leader, and I thought, and I definitely need people to help me out. And if they can help me out, I can help them out.
If you had to look back and look at it from a third party point of view, did people like working for you?
Oh yeah, I think all my commands, I was better as a commander than I was actually doing the nut work, if anything. So I mean, you'll see some reviews there where I can't believe this guy even made it. And what if I was down there doing something? Yeah. So as a commander, as a leader, I was much better. I was much better because I could take care of them and they took care of me. And I thought that was just so simple. I mean, leadership is basically I take care of you. You're serving them, but they're serving you. And so it kind of goes both ways. And I thought, this is so much easier and better pay.
We didn't talk about this off mic, but can you share maybe a story? I'm sure when we get together, we probably can share little hard target situations that we've been in and whatnot. But I don't talk about that much. But if I know that in your book that you kind of share, can you maybe bring to light maybe a story where maybe a hard target situation where you thought I might meet my maker, but with the grace of God, you didn't?
Well, I was a lieutenant. I was in South Korea. And with this story, I felt that I was going to drown in shit. I felt that I was going to, I mean, we have that term in life where it's called being neck deep or being but I was literally neck deep at night in a foreign country, suffocating, about to drown in a shit pool, a feces pool. What it was in South Korea, what they have is they got feces, they line them in ditches to fertilize the fields, right? Yes. And one of our skills as a soldier is to demonstrate land navigation. Land navigation is trying to figure out where your points are on a map and walking through the woods. Well,
the ranger shit.
That ranger stuff. And I had done this I was a lieutenant. I'd been, this is one of these common basic skills, but well, and I knew what to do, but it was at night. But the thing is I had to cross a point. I smelled it on the left-hand side of the road. Shit is slippery. It was at night. We can't use flashlights. I fell on my ass, went into a ditch. I'm up neck deep. I'm alone. And I thought I was going under. I had a backpack and we have our equipment. We have our load bearing equipment on. Yeah. So you got a bit, I'm in my late 20s. I'm going down. I'm going to suffocate. I never had a family, don't have a wife, don't have a baby. A lot of things I haven't done. I've only been late a few times in life. And this is the way I'm going to go out. My last name is Pike. And even if I make it out, I'm thinking pooping Pike for the rest of my life. That's going to be the stories, all the legends and things. So I caterpillared up on top of the shit, crawled out of it, barely without sinking down back into it. Once I got out, I was a mob of shit. And I had another problem. I wanted to save my face. I wanted to save my embarrassment. And I was a lieutenant. And so I'm still down there at the bottom, kind of in the officer world. And so I needed help. I needed to find a way to get back without anybody knowing about it. And so what I did was I rolled around like a dog on the grass stubble to get the bulk of the shit out. Keeping a note, it's dark at night, very dark out there. And then I needed help. We're not supposed to go talk to the Korean families and the Ajimas or the Adashis.
Yeah,
we're not.
That's right. You're not. Yeah.
So, but I said, fuck it. I'm going to go do it anyway. I need help. I'm in an emergency situation. I was also thinking I might get infected by the feces that have gone throughout my body. Sure. And so walked into a farmhouse, knocked on the door. Ajima, annyeonghaseyo, annyeonghaseyo. She comes to the house. English and Korean are not perfect. We don't know the language. It wasn't neat at this time. It's an emergency situation. I stripped down naked. I give her all my stuff, a lot of hand motioning. Bottom line is she comes and saves me. She gives me my stuff. I walk back to camp naked. I get away with that, falling into shit, and also getting away without anybody knowing about it. And she brings it back. Now, I failed the course, but I got it on a few other tries. But what I'm saying is, no matter what phase of life you're in, you'll always get into some sort of shit, but you just keep on trying and getting your way out of these things. And I found that these stories just kept on going through life. That's the shit story, but there's legal stuff stories, there's girlfriend stories, there's all kind of wild, crazy events. So I just thought I wanted to put that one out for you. Right,
bro. That is amazing, because some people will be like talking about you're taking fire or whatever, and you it's so transparent, man. And that's why you resonate so well, and why you rock stages, and people are so tuned into you, man. And that's beautiful, man. So we're going to flip it to leadership, man. What do you feel then is somebody that's working their way up into leadership? Okay, what do you think their biggest blind spot is?
You know, I was a humble, very humble leader because I came from the bottom. And with leadership, there's another story. There's something called toxic leadership. People want to take you down off that ladder. People want to knock you down. And in the military, or even I've heard about corporations.
Oh yeah.
Where they want to backstab you because they want to get up on that ladder too. It's competition as you go up. So I made it up from a private up to a lieutenant colonel, which would be a senior manager.
Right.
But my greatest horror, I feel it's a horror, is the political backstabbing and the competitiveness that they have to get to a high level. And I just thought, hey, I'm just a country boy from South Carolina. I'm just going to do my duty and move on like everybody else and get the education. But that's true. You can do it through hard work and effort, but then also you got to watch your back.
Sure.
You got to watch the people that may get jealous, or they may want to take you out, especially if you're good.
Yeah.
And it'd be with rumors. And with me, I had rumors that I was a spy, I was a pedophile, and there's others I've got detailed in my story. Not necessarily because it was not all that was bullshit, but what they're trying to do is if you're walking on some people's turf. Sure. I said some things professionally about my job as a senior manager that I thought, and it was in South Korea again.
Right.
And I told them, I said, I feel my job and my specialty is better going in this route, not in that route. They didn't take it well. First thing I was accused of was being a pedophile. That was just a rumor. That was very hurtful, and it was all bullshit.
Huge, yeah.
And then later on, within a year, I was a spy. This was more formal. I was under criminal correctional. I was under CID, Criminal Investigation Division, and MI, Military Intelligence, on charges that I had been selling secrets off post to foreign nationals, which was also bullshit. And I went through about a year to 2 years of investigation on that, which was totally. So what the bottom line is, like you said, when you're going through leadership, just be careful. Just what I'm saying is be careful on what you say and what you do, and but sometimes you might just end up stepping on people's toes. But you got the hindsight 2020. How I could have handled that better is gone to the chaplain or the inspector general. Maybe there's a quality assurance department in there where people can be unbiased, and you can tell them your problems that you're having politically inside the organization or in the military, and they might be able to help you on that.
Love that. I love that, Jason.
Get the details. If you could, I was too emotional at the time. When you're going through these false charges, these are
understandably.
And so, but if you can say who, what, when, where, and why, who, what, when, where, and why of every type of day that's going on. And I had a series of many, many months that went on, but I got some details, but I was in such a state of anxiety, and I was crying. I was holding on to family. It was just emotional, and it took me a while to get over that. Still got some issues with it, but I have processed that out. And that would be, I know I've been to war. I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to many different places, but there is something called the enemy within. And they say, I would rather fight the enemy that's considered the Taliban than actually fight my own people and have the backstabbing type of situation.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it seems like this country's at it all the time until we come under duress. Like a 9/11 or whatnot, we bonded. We almost need that. I hope it never happens, but that's where we find our footing. And that's what I love about America, is that we can do that. And it sucks and it hurts, but man, when it's time to dance, we dance. And that's, I love it. So Jason, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
I haven't. There's something called, 1 second. Go ahead.
Right,
I'm sorry.
You good?
Yeah, very good.
All right. Have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
I sure have.
All right, let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. All right, let's go back to the Double Deuce, the 22-year-old. Jason, all right. What kind of knowledge nuggets might you drop on that Jason? Not to change anything, because your journey is pretty freaking awesome. You wrote a book, you did things that people thought you couldn't do, but to maybe shorten a learning curve, blast through maybe just a little bit quicker.
So meaning I am 22 trying to talk to myself right now.
You're now talking to yourself at 22. What kind of knowledge nuggets, advice would you drop on him to maybe shorten the learning curve? Again, I don't want to change anything, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Even
So,
the short stuff and all that.
First of all, everything's going to be all right with the pattern and the development that you've got right now. If you just keep on going and be yourself, don't change just because other people changing. If this is yourself and this is your steering wheel and this is how you go in your heart, you got to stay on that path. Because that's you, and people will know who you are. If you try to change yourself and deviate from that, you're not being on your true core steering path, and then therefore you'll find other people may not know where to come from with you. You may not get the benefit of the doubt of being yourself because you're trying to change and be other people. So I'm just saying, keep on going. It's going to be all right as long as you be yourself. Yeah,
I love it. Be authentic. That's beautiful. That's the best advice, man. So how do you want your dash remembered, Jason? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, man, your life date and death date. Hopefully it's way down the line, but how does Jason want his dash remembered?
Could you explain that again? I'm a slow processor. I'm trying to, when you say dash, I'm trying to figure out.
So you ever see a tombstone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're born in 1965, right?
Right.
Okay, there's a dash, right? Right now it doesn't say anything, right? Your dash is how people remember you. How do you want your dash remembered?
Veteran, author, father, and husband, basically. Yeah.
Love it, man. I mean, the go-giver, bro, because you're giving to people, man. You're showing out. You're helping people, showing out without showing up or showing other people up. That's beautiful, man. So, Jason, what do you think people might misunderstand the most about you?
Oh, they're going to look at me as maybe possibly too humble. I am this book, A Soldier Against All Odds. I'm coming from you at a point of view. I'm a senior manager, and I'm going to tell you my screw ups in life in detail. But I'm proud of who I am, and I am who I am. That's what makes me. So a lot of people that have a lot of these officers and these senior people, they have a lot of pride in themselves, and they have a proudful position. Mm-hmm. That's why they call you sir, and that's why you make more money. But at the end of the day, everybody's human. We all have failures and screw ups, and the more you give out on yourself, the more someone else could possibly grow from you. And that's kind of how I wanted to put my life together. A lot of people, I think, they'll look at this book, and some of my peers like, man, damn, they kind of shy away in a way, because sometimes they shy away because I'm very much just giving to giving out into the open. Yeah.
Love it, man. No, I absolutely love it. So, Jason, then what would be your definition of a life well lived?
Oh, a life well lived is, I think, as long as you've got your friends and your family and the love of the community, whatever that niche or that notch is, and that what makes you feel comfortable, I think that's going to give you the best of the best in life. Yeah.
I love it, man. And it's like you're just this guy that is going to slide across home plate, man, bumped and bruised, but you help so many people along the way. And that's to me, that's crazy, awesome, impressive. So how about, like, what are 3 things then that Jason can't live without?
Ooh. Food, a nice bed, and sleep. I tell you what, I cherish the very basics of life.
Yeah,
nice clothes, air conditioning, and good food and sleep. These things are very precious to me because I've been without them. And so I always focus on the basics. And usually when I'm asking God for something, it's usually I'm thanking God for a bed and for air conditioning, things of that nature. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. It's like it's funny. A lot of people will pray for what they want instead of to become the person to accept that. You good there, brother? Time to Shine Today Podcast Varsity Squad. We are back, and Jason, we'll meet up one day, maybe rocket stage here and there, and talk about some of these questions at length. Maybe a brain grenade and sit back and enjoy some time. But you got 5 seconds today with no explanations, and they can all be answered that way. You ready to level up?
Let's go for it.
All right, let's do this. All right, Jason, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh. You've got to improve your grades, son. Son, my dad would say, son, got to get these grades up. Yeah.
Grades up, beautiful. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Oh, physical fitness. That's the main thing. I have to
Excellent.
get out and do something
Excellent.
physical.
Excellent. These are short answers. Let's go with it. They see me walking down the street, like, man, Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums a little bit. Not your book. Give me another book that can help me level up.
Oh, hey man, I don't have an answer to that one.
No worries. What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Thumbs up.
Beautiful. Nicknames growing up?
Jake.
Love it. Give me a hidden talent or superpower that you might have that nobody really knows about.
I'm a quiet, observant person hanging out, but I'm studying things. Yeah.
Awesome. Chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Oh, Monopoly.
Beautiful. Headline for your life?
I did it my way.
Yeah. Go-to ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
All right, my man. So there's a sandwich called the Jake. Build that sandwich for me. What's on it?
Turkey, tomatoes, lettuce, onions, and mayonnaise.
Beautiful. Favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
Upstate Warrior Solution in Greenville, South Carolina.
Love it. Love it. Last question. You can elaborate on this one a little bit. Well, what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
70s. Yeah.
70s, my man.
Leonard Skinner.
Love it. Jason, how can we find you, my brother?
JasonPike.org. JasonPike.org. You'll find all my social media handles in there. The book, A Soldier Against All Odds. I've got another book coming out for veterans, a self-help guide. It's coming from uniformed personnel to civilian life. It's more of a self-help guide for veterans. That's coming out on October the 11th. But as far as this book right here, A Soldier Against All Odds, JasonPike.org, it's on Amazon. It's if you're out there, if you don't want to read it, that's fine. I've got it on Audible. I am the narrator. I am the author. It's coming from the horse's mouth on Audible, Amazon Audio as well. So that's where you'll find it. Yep.
I love it. And if you buy it, let's say you bought it on Kindle, and then the Audible, you can get it as well for actually $8 cheaper than what it would if you're not an Audible subscriber. I'm just looking at it right now. I'm going to pick it up myself. So that's fantastic, Jason. And squad, I'm going to do a book giveaway for Jason's. We're actually going to do a 2-book giveaway for the first person that actually just put in Jason Rocks and any of our social. I don't care if it's LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram. I don't care if you text it to 561-440-3830. I will personally, on Time to Shine Today's Dime, send out a book, A Soldier Against All Odds, by my really good friend, Lieutenant Colonel Jason G. Pike. And Jason, I need you to do me one last favor here, man, and leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action.
Even if you don't know anything in life, and that's where I was. I didn't know anything. They said, he's the dummy. If you don't know anything, show up at the right place, at the right time, with the right attitude. Show up, right place, right time, right attitude. You'll be doing better than 50%. That's it.
Oh my gosh, that's strong. And squad, we just had a fun conversation, actually a free masterclass with somebody that legitimately rolled in the shit, right? He failed forward from first grade, was kind of told he was going to be a dummy and whatnot. And trust me, the only reason why I can effectually say that is because I went through it as well. Now he's a national best-selling author. Tons of naysayers in his life. He actually started to believe in himself. Even with the low expectations that he had, he started to believe in himself, and all of a sudden his things just started unforming for him. He says the bottom line, that after hard times, the hard times that really wired him, but he did not let that stop him. And that's the true warrior that comes out. In inch by inch, it's a cinch. Short steps, long vision. That's what Jason did. He never stopped. He persevered. No matter what, he reminded us that no matter what phase of life we are in, there will be shit. So dive in sometimes. You got to, just like Jason did, survive. And there's people there that are going to even help you, even people that you wouldn't expect, like a South Korean woman that actually helped him out. He will tell you, Jason will tell you, that people will want to knock you down, backstab you. Be very cognizant of what you say and do. And if you need help, get your asking gear. There's people out there that you can ask for help. That's what Jason really kind of put through. He's so transparent. He wants you to know that everything will be all right. Enjoy your journey, but be authentic. Again, he's going to slide across home plate, knowing that he's a person that was a great friend, a great husband, a great community, just a fantastic tribe. I mean, Jason, with this book and the next book that's coming out in February, that he's planting trees he's never going to sit in the shade of. He does things for the intention, not the attention, even though his stories are garnering him a lot of attention, but he does it to help you. And even if you don't know anything, show up at the right place, the right time, with the right attitude, and you will kill it. And Jason, thank you so much for coming on. You level up your health. You level up your wealth. You're a handsome devil. You've earned your varsity squad letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. I absolutely love your guts.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Take care, bud.
Yeah, see you, my friend.